Hey guys, welcome to another Vex gameplay. This is going to be a voiceover. I'm watching this after the game has already happened since I didn't do commentary live. That does mean the bearer is going to be desynced, so I apologize for that. But Echo versus Vex is typically a Vex favorite matchup, and this is just because you're able to consistently apply your Doom and Gloom effect against Echo due to his hops. It is kind of annoying because he can consistently dash to avoid your fear if you're using at max range. But it's not something that you typically have to play too much around. But you're going to see some pretty standard laning for the level 1, which is just utilizing fear cooldown when it is available. We know they started Time Wonder, so he doesn't really have a way to gap close onto me, which means it's pretty much uncontested damage. So being able to get a significant amount of damage into an Echo, because he's already used a lot of potions here, and all one going to be happening right now. And unfortunately, I do kill myself, which is a tragic scenario. But this really just happens because I'm not utilizing my C-Pot as much as I should have, especially with Time Warp Tonic. And he does flash over my fear, which does give him a significant advantage as well, and I'm also face tanking the minions. So, at the end of the day, it does suck because this is a kind of matchup where getting a snowball kill like this is super significant to snowballing the rest of the map. But we do have a chance to recover here just because the minion wave is pushing to us. So we didn't really lose as much as we should have. And we do get bailed out by Lilia holding the wave as well. So he's going to come back. We'll have a pretty decent gold advantage. And it's not the worst because we can just play for wave. Especially with the current wave positioning, even if Echo were to dash into me, he's not really able to bypass the fear. Because what you're going to see here is I'm currently on 9 AP because I started Corrupting Potion. If I went D-Ring, I pretty much would have won, but that guy did chug a ton of potions. But he's going to come back momentarily. He's probably going to have a Amp Tome, I believe, if I remember correctly. And he's going to have 76 AP at 3 minutes. So 76 AP versus 9 is a really big number. So when it comes to stat checking, it's not something you really want to deal with. But you do need to notice here that he does not have a refillable potion. He doesn't have potions. So even though he has 76 AP, I still have access to Corrupting Potion, which means I have pretty much a resource advantage, right? Because I can heal with the potion effect, I can get mana back with the potion effect, but if he takes a bad trade, he's not able to heal that back at all. So, he's not really able to take advantage of this as much as he'd like to due to the matchup, and just due to the Corrupting Potion kicking in right now. But using Dash Away means there's really no way for Echo to get in without being forced to jump in. So it is going to be free trade on that end. He's using his shield just to prevent some damage in. And right now it's a little bit sketch. I don't have flash and I do not know where the jungler is, but not the biggest issue here. We're just going to be slow pushing the wave, and I do have access to minion demat if I want to push the wave faster. But I just want to make sure that I'm staying closer to my tower so that I don't have to really be out of position here. Because forcing Echo to move forward is just as dangerous for him having no flash himself. So this is just a secure position for myself unless I needed to get like priority to help my Lilia. But the thing with Lilia jungle is that they typically just full clear. And the reason why they full clear is because their clear speed is a lot faster than most junglers, so they can kind of lap you and get as pretty much more XP than you faster than you can get. But we see that Echo recalls here, which is why we're going to push the wave and then reset. Matching his recall means that I'm able to spend money, so as opposed to holding 1,000 gold here, I can spend it, I can get some valuable stats. Of course, I'm still going to be behind Echo because of that previous mistake that I made. But at least I'm not down even more stats, because he's coming back, he's got 99 AP. It is currently 5 minutes 30, I'm at 29. And it's not the worst. But unfortunately, Echo does a roam timer right now because he got the wave first, so he could be on Ocean Drake, and he is actually in that vicinity, so I'm going to have to sacrifice some minions here to help my Lilia. And I do actually get ultimate here just because I have more XP than Echo from staying in these waves, since he ended up losing a wave or two to his recall. And that is a really shitty ultimate, but unfortunately there is no way for him to disengage the gap, so I just go ahead and grab the kill here. Belbuff, I actually have no clue what Belbuff does still. The Manta Ray is scary though, that's all I know. But not the worst, it's actually a really good fight for us, we get 2 there. I also get an assist. Echo dying is pretty significant, but I did lose a few minions for that roam. Echo lost just as many, to be honest, but really unfortunate kill on the bot side. But by pushing mid lane here, I am creating a situation where Echo is going to potentially lose something, so ends up losing one minion. Not the worst, but it is also just going to give me some time to go back and buy some items myself. Once again, just making sure that I'm spending my gold on optimal timers, just to make sure I'm as strong as possible. Because I'm sure if you've watched a few videos, you know that Vex is a early to mid-game oriented champion. She does have a good late game for pick potential, but you are pretty much dependent on skirmishing as much as you can around your ult cooldown. And fortunately, because this is a cannon wave, I'm not going to lose more than one minion. So resetting on that wave timer was pretty much immaculate. Besides the whole missing 2 CS thing to being bad at the game. But we know that Echo's currently missing. We're going to use the minion DMAT to help push lane a little bit faster. The reason why you don't really use minion DMAT on the back wave as Vex is because with your Lost Chapter, you already EQ the wave and one-shot it. So you don't really need to invest as much. But rotating here, collapsing onto the Echo. Remember, he does have flash, so him deciding to go in is a little bit greedy here. And he's going to flash over the wall. But this is still a 1 versus 2 situation. We do have a lot of damage available. And Poppy is going to find her way over here. There's no Aatrox, but stepping on the shield is going to deny some... And we know there's no flash on the Poppy because we saw the kill topside on Aatrox. So that ends up being a 2 for 0. And just playing towards my jungle here is pretty much creating a lot of situations. Making sure that I'm able to rotate and not just staying in the middle. But this is really good for us because we went from dying in lane at level 2 and completely embarrassing ourselves to having a pretty significant impact. And currently I am going to be swapping over for honey fruits. I don't know why I'd use the vernacular swapping, but I'm going to run down here. I do have ultimate available. Unfortunately, there is no connect on the Pikey. But you'll see that I engage with the W, and the reason why I'm doing that is to minimize the chance of missing. Because if I lead with ult and I miss, it's pretty bad. But if I lead with fear, there's no way to dodge that skill shot. And it will always connect. So we reset it. We get an ultimate onto Zeri. That's going to be a double. And I'm still losing CS mid, but fortunately Draven is going to be rotating into mid to catch that wave. So I'm not going to lose as much for doing so. Now, as opposed to selling my C-Pod and grabbing the Everfrost here, you're going to see that I prioritize the Sorcerer Boots. As you can see this game, we've already rotated pretty much 3 to 4 times. So I value the move speed more than completing the Everfrost here. And I do get to keep the C-Pod as well. But you could argue that having the Kindle Gem does give a good amount of survivability, but I haven't really been struggling in this matchup much at all because it is favorable for me. So I do just prioritize the move speed to roam around. But this is a pretty dangerous dragon call for them, but Belveth does need to do neutral objectives because that's how she triggers her form. And once again, Echo just kind of griefing right here. And just staying on his recall point since we had Pyke engaging over here. Really unfortunate hook right there. But right now we're just going to go and wait for Draven to push the wave. The reason why we're waiting is because there's no way for them to exit, and I don't think they can 1v1 the Draven at all either. So I'm going to be tanking here, and I'm just going to go ahead and exit out as they're fighting. And it ends up being a really, really nice juggle. Draven barely living here, and that is going to be pretty much 4k over the dragon. And that's kind of just them overstaying a little bit too much. They should have just abandoned at least the Belveth and walked away. But trying to play around the Echo re-engage was a really silly mistake. Because they already got the objective. Like, you don't want to play skirmishes or random fights into a Pyke or Vex because they just rely on those crazy fights to get a huge gold lead. So now we're currently 4-1-5. We have 10 Darksteel stacks. We've got the Everfrost. We're in a really great position here. And since we're middle lane, we can always rotate on the top or bottom whenever we need to. But that's always going to come down to having mid lane push to make sure that I am not losing too much for doing so. So my kind of goal here is to push the wave before I roam. That way I don't lose a wave for leaving. And it'll take a little bit longer to crash back into my tower. But I can lean here. I have the time to do so. And Nami once again out of position here. And it's going to be free kill. I'm going to give it to Draven just because Draven is a very heavy snowball champion. And unfortunately, I don't think we land the ultimate here. Nope. Now, if I don't use ult there, it technically gets off cooldown faster. But it's all good. I'm just going to head back mid. You'll see that I basically lost 2 minions for leaving, and I got a kill onto the Nami. Unfortunately, we actually get the push Echo out, but the stun actually still goes through. But really good disengage from him. I don't think we can catch up because of Z-Drive resonance. Pretty crazy that they actually die down there. But I guess there was a Belvev. But there's no way for Echo to match me, I think, so I'm just going to continue to play here. With no jungler on the map, I can play for plate as much as I want. As long as I'm holding fear, Echo won't really be able to engage into me, and I can still threaten a dive on him, having no ultimate. But right now, honestly, I don't think this is a great recall since I don't really have much to buy. It's good that I cancel it, because I'd rather play for plate pressure. Plate is worth 160 gold, which is quite a bit, actually. The kill is 300, taking 2 plates equivalent to 1 kill. But I'm going to reset now. This isn't that bad of a recall because it does give me 2 shadowflame components. And then I'm also going to swap to Sweeper here instead of Oracle. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm doing a lot of emphasis on roaming plays. So by taking Oracles, I can safely walk through river or other areas and see if I'm being spotted out as I'm rotating through the map. If I go for the Scrying Orb, it does help with contesting neutral objectives or areas where I want vision of. But right now, we're just going to go and play for this 2v2 skirmish on top side of mid. I'm going to be abandoning the wave because I'm just not going to respect it. And there is no dash available, which is why we're going to play this pretty slow onto the Echo. He actually flashes to the wall here. We do know that he's got to be over there since the sleep went through. I think we lose so much damage here to the damage reduction on Belvev. But really cool fear. We actually trade positions here. Unfortunately, I end up getting hit by the Q there. I think if I played it a little bit slower, I might have been able to get the WEQ off. But overall, that is a 2-for-1. That is still significant for us. I do give over 400 gold shutdown, but it is important to recognize that that gold went over to the Nami. So that's probably the best case scenario that could have happened there. Now, it is crazy that the Zeri and the Nami rotated into mid lane, but the bot tower is gone, so that is a pretty valid thing to do at this stage of the game. It looks like a pretty serious fight up top side. I really don't want them to die here just because we don't want to put gold back onto their team. Scoreline is currently 6-17 to 6, so just avoiding meaningless deaths means that we are able to just keep our gold lead, really. And this is kind of greedy for me. I should be matching Echo bot side to pick up more XP and stuff, but with the way that the game has been played in terms of chaoticness, I'm just running straight to where the action is. I've got the boots to do so. And I think Poppy's in the bush here since we did see her moving down, so pretty crazy flash engage. And once again, gold generation Pike really is meaningful here. But with Zeri cut off, we kind of just need to collapse her. I'm actually surprised her E doesn't go through that wall. I'm surprised that canceled. I think she would have died anyways because the Draven's waiting on the other end. But weird that it would cancel without going through the wall at all. I guess that just doesn't count as terrain for her. Now, this is one of the bigger issues with Shadowflame as an item, is that it is hard to itemize. The components on Alternator are pretty easy to acquire, but having a reset of 1250 isn't too common unless you're farming for a large part of the game or getting a lot of fights off. You'll see I'm 90 CS at 15 minutes, which is extremely low. But I hope the 14 kills makes up for that, since a kill is worth 12 CS. A wave is worth about 120-ish, so on average. But our goal now is to hit level 11. We are side laning here. They do get Dragon. Objective bounty for them, as well as more stacks for the Belvev. I think it just translates to attack speed for her, and maybe 80 or something like that. I don't know. But another fight going on over here. Looking for an ultimate. We do have vision on the Echo. So just going to cast from Fog of War. Fortunately able to land it. And they just absolutely massacre the Poppy over there, so just going to head back to bot lane. Currently, only 2 players on the enemy side alive. We see Belvev and Zeri mid lane, so there is nobody who can answer us on this side lane push. The goal here is just to continue tempo. You're going to see me moving up to catch the wave, just make sure I'm getting as much momentum as possible. And if we grab the tower, it is extremely important to grab towers like tier 2 because it gives 600 gold, which is, once again, worth 2 kills. And this will give me enough gold for shadowflame as well. So really massive power spike. Giving them a chance to fight me when I don't have my power spike is technically a bad thing. But rotating over here does end up giving me a kill onto the Nami. Of course, things should always be process basis. Just because it results in a good play doesn't necessarily mean that the steps to achieving that was correct. But 2.6k gold in the inventory, there really is no reason to stay. There is 3 death timers, so staying for the tier 2 tower and pressuring it is considered okay in, like, the world. It's not like they're going to rush Baron or something, or Rift Herald. But once again, just continuing the push here. They are alive. This is their timer now. We don't have Draven. Pyke is on reset, so this is a moment where they could 3v5 if they want to. I do have ultimate available, 2.k gold in the inventory. And I get my reset recall cancelled, rather. And I'm looking for a Fog of War play here, even though I'm already being super greedy. I see them rotating up to the Aatrox. And even though I do have 2.9k, just remember that I am very strong right now, being 729. But I'm just hovering here to make sure that they can exit safely. I can look for a max range ultimate engage if I want to. And I hold on to my ultimate here just because I don't really have a wave guaranteeing that it lands. Once again, leading with W at melee range. Make sure that it's not dodgeable. Lead with Everfrost. Ult off the Everfrost to guarantee that it lands. Get a reset onto the Poppy, and then we can just go ahead and grab the Nami as well. So at this point, we are recalling with 3.5k gold, 4 death timers enemy team, so staying for the tower once again. The reason why I'm doing this at this point is just because Rabadon's as a straight buy is a really, really big power spike. The thing with Shadowflame is Null Mantle does have a lot of anti-value into it, but second time Rabadon's is kind of nuts. I'm going to go and grab this. At this point, with the amount of AP I have, Void Staff is technically more valuable. I do think I go Void Staff as my third item. Sorry, Shadowflame is my third item. But this is kind of where the game gets dicey at this point. Overstaying for the topside tower here results in, I think, 3 shutdowns. Because at this point, like, we're 30-8 on the scoreboard. As long as we play methodically and minimize mistakes, the game isn't really losable with this composition. But 300 gold, 300 gold, solo kill. Zeri just got pretty much 1,500 gold. And most of our champions are short-range melee, so it might be hard to, you know, kite that out. But getting engaged here, dodge the KW on the Belveth. I don't know why they have the same skill on multiple champions. But really sick 2-man queue here. And we're trying to front to back this. This is a 4 versus 2, but wallbang absolutely fucks me. And this is a throw because we don't necessarily need to take this fight. But once again, look at the shutdown going over the Zeri. That's 400 gold. Unfortunately, we're not able to find the Zeri here, but Zeri pretty much getting an entire item off of the last minute, and now they have an actual carry that's capable of making plays for them. So it's a little bit triggering, but that is just us being disrespectful, and I also could have probably looked for a better ult angle or maybe a flash play. Getting wallbang there just completely removed the ability to outplay it. But it was definitely an outplayable situation, but the best course of action is just never give them the opportunity to do it in the first place. If you want to maintain a lead and make somebody feel hopeless, just don't give them gameplay options. Because if they try to fight you when you are at your strongest, it just doesn't work with this gold lead. But fortunately, ult land over the wall. Really bad tempo. There's really no reason to ever immediately lead with Fear into an Echo when they're expecting the full wombo combo. Trade flash for flash here, definitely not worth it. Echo's flash is significantly less valuable. A lot less valuable than my flash. That I can use as an engage tool or a disengage tool. And unfortunately, I don't get the blue buff here. I'm a little bit tilted about that, but pretty sad situation here, trading 2 for 1 in the mid lane. And this is just because we're pretty low tempo right now. I just invested a lot topside, and we're giving them a chance to 2v2 when they have kind of their turn. Dragon is available, and then Aatrox also 1 versus 2ing. So this is a pretty unique game because I think this just represents what solo queue is you get a lead, really insane flash combo. I do think he still dies here, right, because of Bramble Vest. Yeah, W on Poppy, kind of nuts. Fortunately, we do get the Dragon. I do like the AP value with Rabadons. But once again, I think at this point, just grouping and denying the possibility of mistakes is the easiest decision here to make. But I do have enough gold to purchase a stopwatch if I'd like to. I could also just stay for the rod for shadowflame. That's also a valid play. Aatrox is off the map. This is a really ambitious ultimate that had no place being used. That was a complete fog of war expectation that they're going to walk into Raptor camp. And now I'm down a engage tool for 80 seconds. But fortunately, we managed to get the Belveth here. And really awful Pike combo is going to result in him dying instantly. And I just get absolutely shredded here by the Zeri. And we just keep walking into her. So she basically went from whatever number, 2-6 or whatever. Now she's like 7-8. And you can see me like typing in all chat. Not all chat, but my team chat saying, can we stop win trading? Typically, when you call out your teammates for making mistakes and antagonizing them, it makes them play better. Highly recommend that. Make sure they know that they're losing on purpose. They'll perform better, I guarantee it. But pretty interesting play here. Once again, looking for a 3 versus 2 situation when we do not have players up. Flaming Pike a little bit, pretty good. And realistically, like, we can just win any fight off Baron here, so we should just stay grouped and stop giving them chances to take number advantages. Numerical. And this is a pretty free ultimate opportunity since she just used... She was zoned against a wall, so I could have looked for the ultimate, but she's got the 3 dashes available. The compass shows which direction she can dash in, so I just held on to it. But finding the echo is still important here, because now it's a 4 versus 5 at Baron. We already have the vision down for the Baron play. So if they try to face check this, it gives us a chance to engage with the Pike and the Vex, because they have to play on our terms. So I'm kind of just looking over the wall here, looking for opportunities. Nami face checks, we get a free ultimate. And then really weird that they're behind us actually, but look at the damage prevention on that Belveth just from hitting that button. But Zeri's, for some reason, not in this fight. I don't remember where she is, but really significant, really great for us. This is pretty much what we needed to get the game rolling again, instead of letting them slow it down and scale it out. Because the longer the game lasts, they can technically get more items, and then it's not as big of a deal if they're down a full item. It just depends on the gold efficiency of certain champions. For example, Echo's usually overtuned, can one-shot people off like a Lich Bane. But this is pretty weird. 3 death timers. My teammates are technically walking away here from a 3 versus 2, but now we just need to leave after taking inhibitor. We have Baron buff we can just recall, and then reset into bottom or into top inhibitor. Technically going bottom is better, because we can just siege that and then move into top. But Draven actually managed to trade 1 for 1, but being dead for 40 seconds kind of denies us the chance to play as a team and take those with Baron buff. So I'd say it's more of an L if anything. But you're going to see the Shadowflame 3rd here, and the Zanya is coming in at 4. You'll see that the Pike, I think it was the Pike who said that I needed Zanya's as a 3rd item. I kind of agree that Zanya's has to be built 3rd on Vex in like 99% of your games, because that's kind of what you need to engage. This game, it just happened to be too much gold to make a real decision off of. But Belveth, extremely out of position, already using all of her dashes, gives us a free combo. And that's just a really bad play from them. But I'm picking bottom here. Once again, like I said earlier, I just want the bot side inhibitor. I'm going to beg my team to go bottom. I have flash and stopwatch for this fight. Even though I'm pinging and I'm communicating, you see that they're heading into red buff area and taking a bunch of damage, so I'm getting pretty tilted here. But looking for an ultimate over the wall, unfortunately, I'm going to get spotted out by the scrying. Looking to take the blue buff, which would be pretty nice, honestly, but Echo actually manages to take it, but trades ultimate for it, which is really not ever worth it. Because 40 seconds is pretty much what we are going to be taking advantage of anyways. This is also unnecessary. We already have the minions mid lane, so we don't need to match them. We just have to force them to come to bot lane. Because if they match us bottom, we win 5v5 no matter what. So them going to match the enemy team is actually pulling power away from where we actually want to be. Because once again, 5v5ing with this massive a gold lead is always in our favor. They managed to get Aatrox and really bad Fear W, but fortunately I don't get knocked by the Echo W. And that is going to be a free kill on the Echo, and that opens up the bottom inhibitor. Poppy is behind It's just a really disjointed fight here. I think I get engaged on here. Another bad, awful fear. And Nami out of position here, so it actually is a free ultimate. I'm super dangerously low, but I think I follow up on this just because they don't really have much range damage outside the Zeri. So I get a pretty free fear here, just help out. Force the Zanyas. And that is going to be a ace echo coming in 7 seconds, but I think we can just end here. And that is going to be some Vex gameplay, Grandmasters like 520 LP. A really awful start due to mechanical misplay, and then we managed to correct it by just relying on skirmishing, which is our team's win condition. You can see how this game was dicey for no reason at all, and then just making better decisions resulted in finding our path again. But thank you very much for watching. I apologize if this wasn't what you expected compared to other videos that we've done that have been more live commentary. If you like this kind of content where it's just more analytical, please let me know. But remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.